Hello, boys and girls. We are going to review a few vocabulary words, and then we'll get our social studies textbooks and read some more information in them. First of all, everyone say volunteer. Volunteer. Volunteer is work that you do without pay, or you do not get paid. People work and help other people for free. Also, we've learned about common good. Everyone say common good. Common good is when you do something that is for the good of everyone in the community. That is common good. Also, we learned in previous readings about jury. Jury is a group of people who work together to see if a law has been broken. That is a jury. It's a group of people. We also learned about responsibility. Everyone say responsibility. Responsibility is a job or something that you need to do, a job or a duty. Okay, then we learned about consequence. Consequence is something that happens because of what you do. So a good consequence could be you studied for your spelling test and then you got a good grade. A bad consequence could be that you did not study and you did not receive a passing grade. A good consequence could be that you cleaned up your room the way you're supposed to, and then your parents were happy with you and they praised you. A bad consequence could be you did not clean up your room and then you got into trouble. Okay, consequence happens because of what you do. And then we also have vote. Everyone say vote. When you're a citizen of the United States, you have the right and the responsibility to vote, and you can vote when you're 18 years old. Okay, everyone should vote. It's very important. Now, you did some reading with Mrs. Harriger recently, and she talked to you about some words. She talked to you about this word. This word is justice. And I know instantly the young girls think justice, the clothes, the clothing store. But justice for everyone means fairness. Okay? And in the United States, we believe in fairness for everyone. Everyone deserves what is fair, all citizens. Okay? That is fairness. Fairness means justice. With Mrs. Harriger, you also read about character trait. Say character trait. Character trait is a quality that a person has, such as being responsible, being trustworthy, respectful, and being fair and caring towards others. Helpful character traits make good citizens and show good citizenship. Now, we vote for good citizens at school, and we vote for kids that follow the rules, do their best work, take part in class activities, help others. They are responsible and trustworthy and respect others. Okay, those are good character traits. Very good, boys and girls. And one other word you did with Mrs. Harriger was cooperate. Everyone say cooperate. Cooperate means you work together for the good of everyone. And at school we have to cooperate. Teachers cooperate and work together. And students need to cooperate so that they can get honors votes and be in honors class. Cooperate means to work together. We are going to learn two new words today. One word is boycott. Everyone say boycott. And a boycott is when people refuse to do something because there is something that they think needs changed. And another word we'll read about today is hero. And a hero is someone that helps other people. They set a good example for other people. Okay? So to read, we're going to turn to page 255. So get your social studies textbooks, turn to page 255. When you get it, it'll look like mine. You will see Rosa Parks on there, and then I need you to follow along as we read. If you don't have your book, have the teacher or you pause the video, get your social studies textbook. Turn to page 255, please. 255. And follow along as I read. Okay, first we'll read about Rosa Parks. And the caption up here tells us Rosa Parks worked for justice. So justice again means fairness. So Rosa Parks worked for fairness. It says Rosa Parks wanted to change laws that were unfair to African Americans. In some places in the 1950s, African Americans had to stand in the back of public buses. They could not sit in the middle only if the seats were not needed for white people. Only could they sit if there were no white people that needed the seats, okay? In 1955, Parks was sitting in a middle seat of a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. When the bus filled up, Parks refused to give up her seat. The driver called the police and she was arrested. So see, they had to, because they were black, give up their seat for someone else to sit down. Well, Rosa Parks decided this wasn't fair. Why should she have to give up her seat? She has as much right to it as anyone. So she refused to get up and they arrested her. Parks and other African Americans in Montgomery had been planning a bus boycott. During a boycott, people refused to pay or use something. After Parks was arrested, many people refused to ride on the bus. Okay, so if they're not riding on the bus is not making any money. So you ride on your school bus, you don't have to pay anything. But you ride on a public bus, you have to pay to ride on it. So if people are not riding on the bus is not making any money. People refused to ride on the bus then. They did this boycott because they wanted to change that law. They wanted to change that law that when you get on the bus, you can sit where you want. If you're black or if you're white or if you're brown or if you're yellow, you should be able to get on a bus and sit where you want and not have to give up your seat and stand for someone else just because they're white. So they did this boycott. Right here it says their boycott caused the bus company to lose money. After almost a year, the law was changed. So what Rosa Parks did and other people helping her changed a law so that black people did not have to stand and give up their seat for someone else. And that is a good law to change. Okay, remember the word boycott. They did a boycott where people refused to do something or pay for something so that they could change something. All right, boys and girls, at the bottom here is the bus. There's the bus in which Rosa Parks, where she gave up her seat, and it is in a museum. And I actually went and seen that bus and got on that bus. You can go see that bus in the museum. The actual bus that she rode on and refused to give up her seat. Okay? Okay, on page 256 now. We need to turn to page 256. Now, we've read about Rosa Parks, and with Mrs. Harriger, you read about Jimmy Carter, okay, and how he helped people. We're going to read about someone named Dolores Haruta. Now, I will tell you, this is her right here, and this is Cesar Chavez that she worked with. They cooperated and worked together. This is Dolores, this is Cesar. Well, Dolores, her last name Haruta, is the way I've heard it pronounced, but I've also heard it pronounced other ways. So, as you learn about her in future times, you will also hear her name pronounced differently. Okay? So we're going to read along. I need you to follow along as I read. Dolores was a teacher. Okay? As a teacher, Dolores Haruta saw her students come to school hungry and poorly dressed. She decided to help them by helping their parents. The parents were mostly farm workers from Mexico and other countries. The families traveled all over the United States to find work picking fruits and vegetables. Because many of the farm workers were not United States citizens, they did not have many rights. Haruta started classes to teach the workers how to become citizens and how to vote. Later, she helped them earn more money so they could buy food and clothing they needed. So what she did was a great thing. Dolores was a teacher and her students were poorly dressed and they were hungry. And teachers care about their students. So because she cared about her students, she decided to help their parents. Because she knew if she could help their parents, that would help her students. Because parents help their children. So Dolores decided to help these people become citizens, help them get jobs so they could get money and food and clothes for their families. So Dolores helped the parents of her students. Okay, boys and girls, turn to page 257. 257 at the top, it is going to say Everyday Heroes. Everyday Heroes. Follow along as I read, please. It says many people in a community show that they care by being everyday heroes. A hero is a person who does something important and sets an example for others. Some everyday heroes in your community may be parents, firefighters, police officers, teachers, and volunteers. So everyday heroes are people that help other people. Okay? They help other people in their community. Lots of times firefighters are heroes. Police are heroes. People that help you no matter what and set a good example for you. Teachers, principals, those are everyday heroes. All right, boys and girls? Now, you're going to need a paper that looks like this. If you don't have it, pause the video so your teacher can get it and pass it out. You need this paper. Let me make it smaller. You need this paper. It says Being a Good Citizen. It'll have a picture of Jimmy Carter and Dolores Haruta on it. So it has Jimmy and Dolores. We need this paper. So if you don't have it, pause the video and get that paper. If you're at home and you don't have that paper, you can simply get a piece of paper and write Jimmy Carter's name on one side, Dolores' name on the other side. Okay, and we're going to do this together. We are going to think of this as a Venn diagram. Think of this as a Venn diagram. Now, Mrs. Harrigan read about Jimmy Carter with you. She read about once he was president. He got a Nobel Peace Prize. He's a good man. He's still alive today. He's a really good man. He volunteers for a place called Habitat for Humanity. And this place, they would build homes for people. Okay? People that couldn't afford to build their own homes. So that's a little recap on Jimmy Carter. And we just read about Dolores. We are going to think of this paper as a Venn diagram. And we're going to fill it out together. Okay? So hopefully now everybody has their paper, has a pencil, and is ready to fill this out. All right, so thinking of this as a Venn diagram, we'll put something about Jimmy that goes just with Jimmy on this side, something about Dolores that goes just with Dolores on the other side. And in the middle right here, I want you to help me write something about both of them. What's something that they did? Let your little brains get to thinking now. What's something that they both did? You're correct. You said they both helped people. They both specifically helped poor people. Okay, so here in the middle between their picture, we're going to write, they both helped poor people. So make sure you write that down. Please write that complete sentence. Important to know that Jimmy and Dolores both helped people and they both helped poor people. Now, Jimmy Carter, what did he do that Dolores did not do? Well, he helped poor people. So in doing that, what did he do specifically? Well, remember he helped build houses for people who could not pay for them. Remember, he worked with Habitat for Humanity, and Dolores didn't do that. So for Jimmy, we can write down, Jimmy helped build houses for people who could not pay for them. He worked for Habitat for Humanity. And that made him a good citizen. And ask your parents about Habitat for Humanity. We do have a Habitat for Humanity close by. I believe there's one in Allen County. If not, I'm sure there's one in Putnam County. There's several Habitat for Humanity places in Ohio where they help people the way Jimmy Carter did. So write all that out. Jimmy helped build houses for people who could not pay for them. He worked for Habitat for Humanity. Write all of that out. And then we're going to think about Dolores. If you've already written about Jimmy, think about what Dolores did. Think about what Dolores did. Dolores was a teacher. Okay, so as a teacher, what did she do? Well, Dolores was a teacher, and she cared about her students, and most of her students, all of her students perhaps, they came to school, they were hungry. They were poorly dressed. They didn't have nice clothes. They needed things. So Dolores helped the parents of her students. Because in helping the parents, it helped the children. She helped the parents of her students. She helped them become citizens. Okay, Dolores helped the parents of her students. She helped them become citizens. She also helped them get jobs so that they had money, so that they could get food and clothes for their family. So instead of just giving them stuff, she helped them so they had some pride. They could get a job, they could get their own, then they could get their own money. She helped them get jobs so they had money for food and clothes. She helped them so that they could help their family. It was a great thing that she did. So Jimmy Carter and Dolores, they are both very good citizens. Okay? Good citizens help others, care about others. Good citizens have good, trustworthy, respectful character traits. Okay? I'm going to leave that there a minute so everyone make sure you write all of that down. So we learned about Jimmy Carter. We learned about Rosa Parks fighting for justice. Justice is fairness. We learned about Jimmy and Dolores, how they both worked to help other people, how they're both good citizens. We learned that they had to cooperate. When you cooperate with someone, you have to work together. And to be a good citizen, it's important to be able to cooperate with others. Okay, boys and girls, make sure you have this all written in. And study those vocab words, and have a great day.